I've found that a lot of progressives have a tendency to, a lot of them have a similar belief at times, not always, but they're so frustrated with the relational aspect and how the people around them have worked it out that they've shied away because they don't want to be associated with those people. And it seems it's more about the association of people than it is necessarily truth. Is that would that be a wrong assessment on my part?
Yeah, the thing we look at, and all this part of the brain is faster than our conscious thoughts. So it's something that we just instantly know and instantly long for. So this is kind of weird, but our right brain actually runs faster than conscious thought. It runs at the speed of joy. Left brain is more more conscious, it's a slower rate brain. And so you walk into, let's say, a typical church lobby, you're visiting, maybe you're wondering if you're going to go there, and your brain every sixth of a second is looking, are these people happy to be here? Do I see them at least happy to be with each other? Maybe they don't know me yet. Do I sense a bond? Do I during the service, do I hear weakness? Do strong people share weakness, so to speak? Or is it just, here's my success, here's my great personality, here's the polished thing, and then you go home? And also, those two things, really, the joy and the love are the things that just make stuff grow like crazy. Part of the problem, though, is those are not enough. They're absolutely necessary. Without joy or hesed, you don't even get into the circuits of your brain that change character, right? There's almost like a firewall there. If you don't have a hesed, agape, a love, a bond, like a family level bonding with people around you, then your church or anybody else doesn't get access to your character. Your brain will kind of dismiss it, right? But just because someone has access to your character doesn't mean you're going to grow good character. You can also grow bad. You can grow like a garden. You can grow tomatoes and lettuce and carrots, but you can also grow lots and lots of weeds, right? So the third nutrient of soil, that we add after joy and hesed, after love, we call it group identity, but it really answers the question in our brain as well as answering this question in the control processor of who are my people and how do they act? How do we act in this situation? So any kind of situation you find it, your brain is trying to draw from your group identity to know how we act in this situation.
How many group identities can we have?
Oh, millions, thousands, hundreds. We all have them. The question is, are they the group identity of our people and of God's kingdom? Do they actually line up with God's family?
So it has to be, wow, that's a lot. It has to be then connected with the truth of what God says about himself and the people of God. And if it doesn't work, right?
Yeah, a good example of this, example is probably easier.
Okay.
Is Jesus said quite a few times in the New Testament that we're a people who love our enemies, right?
Yes.
So that's not just what we do, it's actually who we are. That we're actually identified. He said, people who are not Christians, he called pagans, I'll love those who love them. So, that's great. We should love those who love us. But we are to love our enemies and actually exchange blessings for curses, right? So this is who we are. So my question is, are we saying that to each other? Like, are we reminding, like when I start hating my enemy, do you walk up to me and say, Michael, remember that we're a people who love our enemies and exchange curses for blessings? Because it seemed like you were wanting to curse back when someone cursed you, right? So now
we're training ourselves. Is that it? We're training ourselves, reminding ourselves who we are. It's the identity. The group keeps reinforcing that.
We're actually building our group identity. We're building our identity as a people. We're creating a people. The church was always meant to be a people.
Right.
Meaning it's a people that has a shared value of who we are and how we act and what we do in the world, right?
So those church relationships then are to help reinforce and rebuild the character. So this is why I'm going to add a little tangent on here, but for our listening audience, we've had different people on the show. Jay Kim, who wrote a book called Analog Church, and we're talking about how so many people now have gone to virtual church, but you can't have those. You're having the truth, which is what people think church is for, but they're not getting the relational aspect is what they need. And you need to be with people in that regard. This is why we need to be in church with people to reinforce that joy and hesed relationship, correct?
Yeah, another way to say that is the church needs to function much more like a family and much less like an organization.
Wow. Does not the Bible say all this stuff?
The problem is that is a hard change.
It is in our culture today.
It's like we're going back into the basic wiring of the church and having to pull the wires out and rewire it again.
Wow.
Which is why we have such resistance to this.